Now I would like to invite the World Food Prize laureate, Dr. Surinder Vasal, and already mentioned by my colleague that his contribution in the area of development of quality protein maize that has helped to overcome malnourishment from several developing countries. We are privileged to have you with us, sir, and we would like to invite you for the inspirational message. So please join me in welcoming Dr. Vasal.
Well, good morning, everybody. It's nice that I was invited and be able to meet several old friends. I see the faces here. Now, it's always good to pick up one phrase from the speakers, which is more convenient for you or where you can elaborate a little bit. I think Peter mentioned crop improvement was important, is important now and remain improvement in the future also. So I think it's very important to point out that in the 20th century, we have witnessed a lot of revolutions. You talk of hybrid revolution, the green revolution, the information technology revolution, and now we are in the midst of what we call as the biotech revolution. So it's very important. I think we are at a point, whatever has been done in the crop improvement program or in the new tools that are available to us, to have a critical analysis. I think plant breeding, we have experience of 100 years. I think it's important to analyze critically what are the methodologies which are most widely used in self-pollinated crop and cross-pollinated crop. And I still think there's a lot can be done. I think in many cases, the fundamentals and science-based aspects of research have not been completely deployed in this kind of. So it's very important. I think some point in time, I think the people who have contributed to this, I think get together and make a critical analysis of what works, what doesn't work. Because it always helps what to build up on what works. And I think we know even the simple gene therapy has worked, just reducing the plant height. How much gains this has made in many other crops. But then we have other crops like maize, where we have got so many dwarfing genes, but we have not been able to exploit very successfully. So it's time to, I think, make a critical analysis of what are the useful traits which are there. We can identify, but we have not been able to utilize. So this is something is, in my opinion, is very, very important. I think we know when we look at the last century or maybe a little bit beyond, who are the 100 people who have made significant advances to mankind. It's very important. If you look at the Time Life International publication, 100 people who made the most, and also the recent book by what is the meaning of the 20th century, what we are looking forward in the 21st century, something is very, very important. From my standpoint, I think 21st century to be very, very exciting. I think a lot of new things are going to happen if we do everything in the right way. Germplasm is still going to be the key factor. I think is the capital. We don't want to lose this capital. It's very, very important. And this is one of the disturbing trends that we see all over the world, practically in all the crops. Agrobiodiversity, look in the wildlife, we have lost already 40% in the last 40 years. This is not acceptable. Same thing is happening in crop improvement program. If you look critically, practically in all crops, the germplasm is becoming narrower and narrower, and as we go to new technologies, even hybrid technology, I think very small proportion of the total germplasm which can be used in the crop improvement program is used at present. So I think it's very, very important, in my opinion, is we need to have a constant conversation with new ideas, new technology. And also we need to look for new solutions that are available, which are viable. I always prefer and worked in my life, whatever project or assignment I got, is to look for a single strategy which evolves constantly. This is something is very, very important. And a technology of this kind has to be, I call a skill master technology, which also continuously makes skill making. And in my opinion, it's hybrid technology, inbred hybrid technology. If you really look at the past history of past 100 years, lot of new things have happened. The type of hybrid that we use to develop, multi-parent to two-parent, Then we look in the self-pollinated crop using the various kind of cytosterility system. But I think there is a lot more can be done to make it more effective. The system which is used, cytosterility system of restorers and maintainers, I think is not a very good system. We need to look for simple solutions which are much more effective and which will help accelerate the breeding process. So in my opinion, there is a lot of challenges ahead. We always need to be confronted with epidemics. We have seen it in the plants, animals. So epidemics should be on our priority list. Anything we identify, we should try to find solutions to that one immediately. One of the things which I expect from all these new tools is reducing breeding cycle. This is one of the critical points which I think is very, very important. And I think even in the practical plant breeding program, we have been constantly looking how we can reduce the breeding cycle. Even in hybrid technology, going from multi-parent technology where we used to identify hybrid in 7 to 8 years, with two-parent hybrid, we can identify even 2 cycles or 3 cycles. So again, I think there's a lot which has happened, good things have happened, and I think we should try to build our future on that one here. So this is very important, and that will require, we must know all the options, not only in one particular area, the breeding, the new tools that are available, or other even simple skillful technologies which have helped us in the past. We should always look into those kind of things. The other thing is very important, there is also make a projective analysis of what has happened. Success doesn't mean that you should stop. Success is a journey, and the destination still is far off. So this is a very important, whatever good things have happened which has worked for us, we need to partition gains of that one. And this is something like in hybrid technology. I think we have made a critical analysis of what has happened over the last 100 years. And we know the inbred performance is very, very important. It has contributed almost 80 to 90% of the gains. So again, I think this is, again, we need to think what breeding it has in the hybrid breeding program in the self-pollinated crop. So I think the challenges that we face in future about climate change, they are much more complex than the ordinary challenges that have been talking about increasing yield and other things here. But they can all be done. I think a strategy has to be developed that will take care of all the problems. And from my standpoint, it is, if you have critical thinking, you can develop a strategy where you can tackle all the problems in a very, very effective way with the new tools that are available to us. The current knowledge of breeding, critical analysis, and I think the new tools that are available, I am very, very hopeful the future, the 21st century is going to be very, very exciting century. And I think we will see a lot of new revolutions coming up during this period. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for very encouraging and inspiring words. And I think that these are very important for the community. We will consider, we will keep these things in mind. So while using those tools. So thank you very much once again, sir, for giving your blessings to this conference.